Okay, so you can see what I'm using here. Not today. All these technical things here. Okay, so good morning. I hope you're well. Let me just sort out here my cable and everything. Okay, so what are we doing today? I wanted to talk a little bit about SEFA, Small Enterprise Finance Agency. Just explain to you what they are doing, how they can assist you. And yes, and if you know that already, most of you, when you have questions, please write in the comments. I will answer as many and as detailed as possible. And what we do, let me just see, my microphone is on. Let me just please know that you can hear me, you can see me. So that is good news. And I'm having here Swamake, good morning. Okay, too low FPS. The current frame rate is too low. Please set the frame rate. Okay, I have no idea what that means here. Okay, let me just know that you can hear me and see me, and then I just delete this. Good morning. Let me just see. There's Matebo, there is Brian, Jerome, lovely. You can all see me and hear me. Matebogo, good morning. Chiamo, good morning. Manuzi, good morning. Lovely. Okay, so let me just, I usually don't do that, not every time. So my name is Dagmar Beiling. I'm the CEO here at Funding Connection. What do we do? At the end of the day, we assist entrepreneurs raising capital, applying for loans, applying for grants. And depending on the size of your venture, we look here in South Africa, but for bigger projects we're also able to look abroad and see what's the best option for you. In some cases we also structure deals and say, okay, so there's a little bit of grant there available, some loan there, some equity there. So just to really help you and guide you through the process. That was where I started. Okay, so and then I only wanted to raise capital for people. That's something where I felt really comfortable, and I wanted to concentrate on, because drafting business plans, financial forecast is a little bit of headache sometimes. Okay, but when I saw the business plans, what other people showed me, and it doesn't matter, even, I've seen business plans from some big corporates. I'm thinking they're writing lots of things in there. They are maybe relevant to the applicant, but not the relevant details. They're relevant to the financiers or the equity partner. Yeah. So, and then I said, okay, I need to bite the bullet. In German you would say you need to bite in the sour apple. And said, okay, I need to do that. I need to draft business plans. I also need to do the financial forecast so that financiers are happy with it and can see, okay, I'm giving this client this money, this is what happens with the money, and this is how they will be able to repay the loan and also still earn some money with it. Yeah. So, and that's when I started to draft business plans, just to offer the full package here for our clients, and increase the chances to raise capital dramatically. Yeah. Because it makes no sense to go somewhere and then, oh yes, I know this is missing, but here's the document, and this is missing, but here's the document. That is definitely no fun. Let me just see, there were lots of people in there. Let me just see, Loiso is in there, Swawake, Saul, Marilee, good morning, Lucian, Manosi, let me just see, yes, I said that already. Anzeko, Pasteur, I assume. Mojalifa, German, Florence, Niliswa. That is a nice big. Hey, we have 60 viewers here. Good morning, Sebo. Good morning, Desiree. She says good morning to everybody. Lovely. Okay. So, SEFA. This one is now specifically about SEFA. I just thought, let me just tackle all the different government institutions here at the moment in different webinars, so that we so that you get a little bit of an idea. At the end of the day, they're all quite similar. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. If you want to go to the National Empowerment Fund or to the Land Bank, most of the time they just have a different mandate, and it's in some cases you are able to apply for two. In most cases you are only able and qualify really because of the industry you are in, your setup, you qualify only for one. Yeah? Okay. Oh, now all my comments disappeared here. Oopsie. Okay. So, SEFA, Small Enterprise Finance Agency, what do? They can go up to 15 million rand. They have two portions. One is, I'm saying it in my German way, is colorblind, okay, one division, and the other division is also concentrating on BEE transactions. Hi June, good morning. So both are possible. With SEFA, there was a little bit of confusion in between, but we confirmed that. My business partner in Pretoria had some couple of times meetings with SEFA management, and yes, they confirmed. Okay, so doesn't matter your skin color, you still can apply. SEFA always wants, like most government institutions, minimum 10% own contribution. And own contribution means it's like equity, yeah? So that means you're putting the money as a portion into the business, and this part there is no interest rate to be paid, and there is no repayment, it stays in the business, yeah? There are two reasons, just for you to understand, okay? The one reason is, sorry, straightforward again, you need to move your butt, okay? If you put your own money into it, then you know that you will do whatever it takes to get this off the ground or get this business through some challenging times. And I promise you there will be challenging times. That's normal. I think there will be challenging times in, you know, in every circumstances in life, in business, and in partnerships. You know, it is just normal. It's just how committed you are. You will find usually some solutions. Yeah. And if somebody has just a loan, says, okay, that's so difficult for me, I'm out of here. And then the financier needs to manage the challenges. Yeah, so that's what they want to do on one side. On the other side, South Africans' interest is crazy. Okay, so you can hear that, you know that. I'm from Germany, so our interest rate, it went up. I think we are at 3% at the moment. Crazy, you know. So, but the burden is just smaller if you pay 3% or if you pay 12.5% or 13%, yeah, on a loan. So we here in South Africa need to make sure that the money we are spending, we asked for a loan for, is wisely done, and that we can really earn lots of money with it to be able to not only repay the installments, the interest rate, and of course some fun also for the business owner, yeah, because that's the goal. You know, the goal is to earn some money with your business without working yourself to the bone. Yeah. Okay, So I may just see, Cedric is there, Ridney is there, Tabiso, good morning, Zipporah, starting a cleaning business. Yes, that's definitely SEFA would be a possibility. Oh, there's something else. Is there funding or grants for white labeling alcohol beverages, or would it be best to apply for one which would mean setting up a whole new factory for manufacturing? Okay, so what you're doing here is, I'm always comparing it. You are telling me, please buy me a vehicle, yeah? I have no idea. You know, if my husband would ask you, you buy him a Harley, he would be delighted. Okay, if you buy me a vehicle and put me a Harley in front of me, I would say, no thanks, that's not what I had in mind. I wanted a Porsche. You know, so this is, it's too generic to really be able to say, okay, what is possible, what is not possible. I have no idea how much funding you need. I don't know for what exactly. Like I mentioned before, all institutions want 10% on contribution. That's something what I mentioned already. And the second part is definitely some offtake agreements. And if you want to do white labeling in general, you are able to do. I don't think that there are grants available because you're not setting up your own manufacturing. And keep in mind, even the grants are only a portion of it, okay? And you need the offtake agreements at the end of the day. You need to show that you are able to sell your beverages, yeah? And who will buy from you on a monthly basis. And offtake agreements, I have this discussion lots of times with clients, or when I just do consultations. It's not about that you can just, you know, the financial forecast says you need 1 million units a month and your offtake agreements are 100,000. Yeah, that's not sufficient enough. Offtake agreements need to be according to the financial forecast, because the financial forecast assumes usually 1 million products per month, is units per month, is the units you need to make sure this is profitable. And the 100 units, 1,000 units a month may show it's not profitable. Yeah, so there is a little bit of legwork to do up front. It's not that you just can sit there and say, this is what I want to do, and now everything, I just only need money. That is an illusion, let me tell you. Yeah, money is the at the end of the day the smallest of your headaches. Yeah, if everything is in place, you will be able to raise capital. Yeah, but with everything else in place, you can do that. Class, can't hear me. Okay. Do you fund or help in getting funding? Given. Okay. So Funding Connection is a private consulting firm and advisory firm. Okay. We do not give out loans or grants. We assist to raise them. Yeah. That means we draft business plans. We do the financial forecast for you. We have a look, where is your highest chance? Where do you qualify for? During the processes, we also make sure that you have everything in place and highlight this, like I did here now, also free of charge already, with offtake agreements, 10% on contribution, something what most of the government institutions definitely not straightforward communicate. Yeah, they always say, yes, we can do that, your chances to get 100% are like this. I'm not too sure if I put so much effort into something, I want proper chances to raise the capital. Yeah, and I don't just want to go out and let me try. Okay, so Topile, good morning. Roderick, will SEFA be able to fund a trucking business? What is the pros and cons? Roderick, yes, SEFA can do fund trucking businesses or transport businesses. They can finance vehicles. Let me tell you, get direct contracts. Don't try subcontracts, And was it, they are always changing the rules and regulations, something what's quite frustrating for us, I think is the best word to explain, so then we always say, no, it's not possible, then they say, oh, now we do that, and then 2 months later, oh no, we don't do that anymore. So that's get direct contracts, get 10%, and I'm not too sure if you are in the trucking business, your profit margins are like this, okay? So you need to know how to calculate it and make sure that it sounds always great, because the off-taker, your clients, are doing that quite cleverly. They just say, okay, we pay per ton from A to B, and then it's 500 Rand, and then it's up to you to figure out, okay, it's 34 tons on that truck, that is that amount, to just drive forward and for and back. And because that's what lots of people just forget, that they, of course, if they, let's say you're driving for a mine coal to Richards Bay, that you of course also have an empty truck backup. And you still need to pay the driver, you need to pay the usage of the tires, the diesel, and all these things, and lots of people are just forgetting it. And SEFA is quite picky with this and wants to know all these details. Yeah. So, good morning, Moropa. I need funding for a complete college in Pretoria. In general, something like this is possible. When we are only able to assist you really if this is a business, you want to set the college up as a business. What I would recommend is, first step is get in contact with Brent. Easiest way, go to our Facebook page. You should be on it at the moment in any case, and contact us via Facebook Messenger. Brent is there on the other side. He will be able to guide you, so he will ask you a couple of questions, then he will say, okay, your next step is this, and in some cases he said, what, this is so specific. In some cases he will recommend also set up a meeting with any of our consultants to just go through in detail. Oh yeah, now you're CJ, I think. Good morning. Me and my partners want to start a law firm. Can your organization be able to fund such a business? The question is, of course, what do you need the money for? So for a law firm, setting up an office, and the question is, how much money do you really need for this? And let me tell you, if you are able to do something, and I started Funding Connection really out of nothing here, so, and I worked in the beginning, I worked from home, then I went into some virtual offices, had there my boardroom, then we bit the bullet and said, okay, now we are growing, now we need an office, then we rented some space here. So everything what you see here from Funding Connection is self-funded, earned out of Funding Connection. CJ, the first thing is what you need to figure out how to sell, because it makes no sense to give you now to apply for, I don't know, 200, 300,000 Rand to buy some computers or something like this, or set up an office. Only having an office will not get you any clients, That's not going to happen. You first need to figure out, okay, who can you approach to really earn money, and then use this cash to invest again and grow your business. Paul van Straten. We have an event venue and catering service. We are level 2. COVID killed our business, but we have started over and put 67,000 into the new venue. What is the chance of getting funding or grants? I don't know. Like I said, this information is not good enough for me. Okay, so if COVID killed your business, there were some funds available to help people during COVID. That's gone. Okay, there's nothing anymore. The question is, of course, what do you really need at the moment to start again? And I know, so let's be honest, Funding Connection, we were really, really blessed and lucky here. We took some hits, of course, in according to sales, but I was able to pay all my staff. We kept everybody here, so nobody was released during that time. So we still got hit, you know. So and the profits were not that high as it used to be, and our growth was definitely disrupted. But what I'm doing, my main focus is really selling, yeah. So marketing, what can I do to get the word out, to get clients, and then I have a team also to help me to close deals. And for us, we are consultancy. Okay, so if you come to us, we are not. You want a business plan? Great, we do that. We always will ask you questions before we even start with doing a business plan, because we know when people come to us, the end goal is usually to raise capital. And the harsh reality is not every great business idea is fundable, yeah? And that's something what we want to read out in the beginning. I don't want to sit there with a business plan and then tell somebody, no, that's not going to happen, yeah? Okay, so what you can do is Paul, contact Brent. You can use Facebook Messenger. Let me just, also www.fundingconnection.coza/contact. Yeah, you can also go to our website, and you will see there, that's here our contact page, what I just posted, and then you just can ask him questions, and he's able also to guide you and say, okay, how much do you need, for what exactly do you need, and then he will be able to say yes, possible. He's also brutally honest. Sorry, but that's what you want from us. You know, you don't want to go through all the process and at the end we say, no, it's not going to happen. Yeah? So I'm venturing into lintel manufacturing. I need equipment. How do you fund this? Okay, so again, contact Brent. We need to know, okay, how much capital do you need? Do you have the 10% contribution? Do you know exactly to who you want to sell it? Do you have offtake agreements in place? You have a place where you want to manufacture. You have quotes on which equipment you need. Yeah. So what we do is we guide you really step by step through this whole process, and will explain what you need. But you need to put some work into it. Yeah, it's not happening like this is what I want to do, and then Funding Connection just can do a business plan for me. We do benchmark against existing ones, and then we will highlight, you know, so somebody else wanted only 5 million, you want 50 million rand for a setup. Why do you need so much money for the equipment? Maybe your setup is 10 times bigger than the other one, can be, yeah? But we will question you and to give you the clarity and the guidance you may need from us. Yeah? Okay. 150,000 rand. Okay. Yes, ask Brent. The challenge is usually also with government institutions, if you are having trouble with your business, even government institutions have a little bit of a problem to finance that. Yeah, I'm more than happy to have a look at it. Good morning. I started a lean startup with the intention of proving the feasibility and sustainability of the proposed entity. Due to some unforeseen, we had temporarily close the business. Just vendors, yes. These things happen, you know, and then the question is, okay, so what can you do? What do you need to just make sure it is up and running again? In these circumstances, like I said, COVID hit the whole world. Nobody expected something like this, you know. And these things can happen in your small little environment, or it happens in worldwide, so that is why as a business owner you need to be on your toe. As soon as I saw Germany, they were in lockdown, I thought, okay, that's gonna happen here too. Everybody told me, Dagmar, you're crazy, they will never ever do that. I said, you know what, doesn't matter, I want to be prepared. Yeah. So I prepared a couple of things and said, okay, so let's see how we can do these things. So for us, everybody is sending them home with their computer and working from home and online was not a problem, because I could see that these things happening, and then nobody was really applying for the normal loans, but everybody was then looking for the COVID relief funds, what was available. So I sat there on weekends, at nights, went through them, had a look, what do we need to do, what can we do, how can we help our tribe and to access this, and that's what we have done. Yeah. So be proactive and don't think now everything is set up and I just can sit here and wait for things to happen. No, be proactive. Okay. I have no idea. Moropa, I don't understand you. Okay. So it's not about earning per month something to qualify to start a business. No, that's not correct. The financiers just want some sort of commitment from you. Yeah? And it has nothing to, it needs to be, of course, you need to have it saved, and sometimes it also determines how big you can start. Yeah. Marvin, good morning. Nkubile, does SEFA fund agricultural businesses? So I'm sure you all knew that Land Bank had a couple of months, I think it was over a year or maybe 2 years, some challenges. So SEFA, NEF and IDC stepped up and also did do agricultural ventures. Land Bank is doing it back again, and let's be honest, Nkubile, if you want to apply for agriculture, Land Bank is the experts. They can do that even in longer terms than SEFA can do that. I definitely would go to Land Bank. Yeah. Jan van Niekerk, struggling to get funding for agriculture from traditional bank. Who can also assist in this regards? Jan, you can go to Land Bank. Yeah, so they are also, and again, they are colorblind. I assume that is correct in your case. I still don't know why we are still talking about this. Okay, but that's my personal opinion. So, but they definitely are able to assist you. Mikael, what are the requirements for funding a franchise? Okay, so if you want to set up your franchise, please make sure that they are in good standing with some of the financiers. Some of these franchises burnt their bridges with head office not doing their job. Let's put it carefully this way. Okay, you need to have you need to be experienced in this industry you want to go in. Yeah, so you just can't go and say, I don't know, I want to now do some engineering business, and I'm clueless with engineering. I have clues, of course, how to run a business, how to grow a business, how to market a business, but I would not have the skills to execute and do the service delivery in this regards. Okay, so you need to have some experience in this industry. You need to have 10% on contribution. You need to have an approval from the franchise that they will take you on. Yeah. So, and then usually you need to have a business plan. There are a couple of different options out there. You can go, SEFA is one, NEF can do that, the Masizizane Fund can do that. I want you to know these things. They are a little bit more expensive, but they are quick. Yeah. And even if you say, okay, it cost me a little bit more money, but I can start in 4 to 6 weeks with my setup, and I don't need to wait 2 or 3 months before I can start. And sometimes time is of, do you say that? Time is of the essence. And so because you don't want to lose maybe a location or something like this. And then, but I want you to know these things and say, okay, I know it's more expensive. That means I need to be a little bit more diligent and careful with for what I do. I spend the money. I can just sit down and just wait until everything falls into places. I need to run around and make things happen. Melvin, does SEFA fund renewable power equipment manufacturing? In general, yes, they would do that. Again, manufacturing, SEFA up to 15 million rand, 10% on contribution. Who will buy from you the equipment if you have everything in place? They definitely can do that. I'm not too sure. SEFA also had a manufacturing grant with blended funding for existing manufacturers in rural areas. There are a couple of rules, you need to follow, but it's definitely something what's worth it to have a look at it. Blended funding may be available there if it is an expansion. Takarama Security, good morning. Okay, so this is what I posted. Oh, Morrison, I don't know. Tinile. Sorry. Mozanku, real estate, need marketing equipment. How do I go about it? Getting marketing equipment is difficult to raise capital for it. I'm sure you need the banner and all these things. I would go to CEDA and see if they are able to grant you that. And then let me tell you, everybody in this in the 21st century definitely go online. And online, you put a little bit of effort into it. It can be in the beginning a little bit painful because it takes some time, but at the end of the day, it would save you also some money. And then when I started, that's definitely, I had enough time. I didn't have enough money, so that's why I concentrated on online marketing. And let me tell you, it works like a Swiss watch. Okay. Zito Biele, would SEFA fund an LMIS with entire back-end support for virtual training and coaching? Okay, sorry, I have no clue what an LMIS is. Virtual training and coaching depends on, so in general they can do that. Depends on who are your clients and how much capital do you really need. And so if you want to do anything virtual training and coaching, there are so many great platforms out there. You don't even need to invest any money in creating a new platform. You just use one existing one, white label it and use it for yourself. It's a monthly fee. I think they are ridiculous small, and they will definitely be the right solution for you. I don't think that you need lots of money for that. Ashraf, I have an existing business. I need to buy our own property. Will they fund this? This business is 3.5 years old. Is there expansion funding? Financing properties via government institutions is difficult, okay, because you buy the brick and mortar. I personally would go through any of the commercial banks and see if you can't get that. You will be able to do that a little bit longer. In any case, go to SA Home Loan, have a look there. If you're willing to pay a little bit more and extra, you can also have a look at business partners. But again, they are good in some specific areas, but they are expensive. Yeah, and you need to know this, so just to make the right decision. Cedric, can we connect via LinkedIn? Yes, I have 2 different ones on LinkedIn. It's Dagmar Breiling, but I also have a Funding Connection LinkedIn account. Feel free just to connect there. Okay, can SEFA? You again. Tainile, you are challenging me here. Can SEFA fund me for my logistics company? I want to buy trucks. It's a startup. In general, yes. For trucks, I mentioned that before. Wow, we talked already 35 minutes. Can you believe that? You need to have a direct contract. That's the offtake agreement. And in trucking, you need a contract and 10% on contribution, some sort of experience and expertise. Then they can do that. SEFA does fund startup business, Tapelo, yes. Nkubile, pleasure. Musi, why subcontracting is not recommended in trucking funding? Okay, number one is SEFA will have a challenge with it, but I explained to you also why. Because now SEFA will check your credentials, they will check the subcontractor's credentials, and they will check the contractor's credentials. So if the contractor now pays the subcontractor, but the subcontractor decides not to pay you, then that's people are playing games with payments. Okay, so or the subcontractor tells you, yes, my contractor never ever paid me, so I can't pay you. It's a headache, and that's just something what they want to prevent. Okay, Cedric, Mars Agri, lovely, thanks very much to mention that. I'm not too sure what they are doing. Consultation to those in the agriculture, yes. We also offer advice, but ours is not about the services, okay? So we can't teach somebody how to grow tomatoes or something like this, or potatoes, but we know exactly what financiers need, yeah? So we're expecting our entrepreneurs to have their expertise, because at the end of the day, that's what the financiers want to see, So if you say, here, I want to grow tomatoes, but I need a mentor to help me to do that, the financiers are not confident enough that you will be able to repay the loan. This will be a challenge, yeah? I'm just straightforward with you, and I will tell you what to look out for. Honenzo, my online business already earning income. How likely is an online shop funded? I'd like to expand and aggressively market the brand in a creative way. Okay, let's be honest, you don't need money for this. That's an illusion, so setting up an online store or expanding one online store with all the, Shopify is working here, Equid is working here. You can use Wix as a website, set up your store there, and people can pay you via Yoko on your Wix website. It's small money, so, and if you think you get, you will not be able to raise any loan to do online marketing, yeah? If you don't know how to do online marketing, you burn the money, yeah? You can spend 100,000 Rand a month with zero result at the end of the day, yeah, if you don't know how to do that. So what I would recommend is grow it organically, and that means as soon as you have some cash, you try a little bit of, I don't know what, who are your clients. In the beginning you can just do marketing via online posts, and then later on you can do marketing via paid advertising, and then concentrate on wherever you are, on Google, on Facebook, or on LinkedIn. In some cases Instagram is a great platform to do that. The chances to raise capital for marketing are small, yeah. Skate, I have an operational business for vehicle maintenance. Can SEFA assist? If so, to what extent? Okay, so again, it is not detailed enough. Please do me a favor, contact Brent. Yeah, he will guide you, and you will be able to tell you, okay, this is possible, and like you see, I will tell you also what is not possible. Yeah. Okay, Monjane, I have an existing business, would like to know if SEFA can assist in additional stock and security, as well as table and chairs. In general, yes. SEFA's minimum amount is 50,000 rand. They can assist you. Stock needs to be, please, not imported. They would not finance importing stock. And of course, you need to. Existing business also means that you're trading, yeah, and that you can prove that you're trading. Bank statements, annual management accounts, annual financial statements. All these things need to be in place. You need to be compliant, you know. So, RAE. Good morning. I have an experience in the food industry. Can I get funding equipment for a restaurant? In general, yes. Like I said before, some own contributions. That's yes, it's a loan, it's not a grant. SEFA has some blended funding where a portion is a grant, but in general, it's a loan. Tylene, pleasure. Tynila, sorry. Tertia. If I understand correctly, Funding Connection will help you with paperwork admin to get funding by SEFA. That's correct. Okay, so what we do is we first have a look, are you qualifying? Not only for SEFA, for any of the available funds. Then we tell you exactly you need to have this in place. Then we help you to draft a business plan. We do the financial forecast. We will make sure that everything is according to the financier we have in mind for you. And then we can, at the second step, we do the financial forecast for you. And in the second step, we then assist you to also compile all the documents, filling out the forms. The trick is not compiling the documents, filling out the forms. In some cases, some people are challenged with paperwork. I understand that. There are other things I'm challenged with in life, okay, and that's not their strong point. Then the trick is, what we do is we make sure that everything is consistent. Okay, so you're having an offer to lease, but for a specific property, but the property in the business plan is a different street. Yeah. Then we make sure that everything is consistent. You have no idea what I've experienced. We needed for some applications a tax clearance certificate, so we got a tax clearance certificate for a different company. You know, and then said, okay, so we can change it. Oh no, but for this company I don't have annual financial statements, you know. So, and hey, the compliance requirements are from government. Why are they? Because of course they want to make sure that you pay your income tax, and now you want to have apply for capital and funding and finance from government. You of course need to be compliant, and you need to show them that you take your compliance serious. Yeah. Melvin, there are some prototype grants available. It's a portion, it's a headache, it's a long process, you know. So just for you to know, if you want to have a consultation with me, we can just go through it and we just have a look what specifically you want to do. SPII is one. I'm not too sure. TIA is in some cases able to assist. If you are an existing business, you can also use the R&D tax incentive, so you're not only deducting your cost for the research and development once, you can, after the application, reduce the cost 1.5 times and reduce your taxable income with that. Pleasure, Roderick. Yes, no, we don't connect via, so you can do that with my team. Have a look, Roderick, on my website under contacts, what I posted before. There is a WhatsApp number. They are able then to guide you there. That's not what I'm doing. Yeah. So I always, you have a team, and then you just need to concentrate on where do I add the most value to Funding Connection, and yes. These are different parts of the business. Marilee, Ayanda, does SEFA fund retail pharmacies? In general, yes. Nico, good morning. Norma, are there incubators? I have no idea. Does Meshach funds acquisition? They can do that. The question is if there are not other Meshach better options out there. It depends on Mishak, yeah? Mashlabi, good morning. Shimi is there, good morning. Cheryl, good morning. Pleasure. Mafife, I want to build an entertainment center with liquor, club, etc. In general, yes, it's not easy. Okay, it's seen as a risky business, but in general, it's possible. SIPO, for someone on solar business, yes, there is some funding available. SEFA help me growing our laundry business. They can do that. Definitely. Nico, I run nutraceutical pharmacare. I'm not too sure if I pronounce it correctly. We formulate and produce alternative medicine. I have a PO to supply the alternative medicine. I'm looking for bridging funding of 200. Okay, Nico, yes. Please, people, be careful. Don't give out publicly your email address or your cell phone numbers. Yeah? So you open yourself up to spam. Do me a favor, don't do that. Nico, contact Brent via our Facebook. Please, the business page, not my personal page. I'm bad with my personal page. I'm usually not even checking if there's anything in there, but Brent is checking on an hourly basis. Of course, only during working hours, you know. So our inboxes. So, and then he would be able to assist you. Yeah. Vanenzo, pleasure. It's growing organically well. I'll check in with you for business plan soon. Lovely. Tertia, paperwork is definitely challenging. Does all this happen online and at what cost? Yes, we do these things online. We have systems in place. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for our clients and of course also for us, because this means that we can keep our prices at a reasonable rate. Yeah. Tertia, it depends on how much capital you want to apply for. The smallest payment, so business plans, we start at 8,900 Rand. It's all inclusive of VAT here, please, for you. And the raising capital fee, the minimum is 5,600 to raise the capital for you. Yeah. Mzwa and Cozy, is there funding for new medical billing companies? Yes, there should be. That shouldn't be a problem. Again, there are a couple of things: 10% contribution, some proof that you have customers and clients. Mashlapi, can SEFA help our business with stock? I'm selling cosmetics. I need funding to become a distributor. In general, yes. That is working capital, depends on how much you need. Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Luiso, SEFA be able to fund a consulting business? In general, yes. It depends on where you really need. It's the same thing like the law business. It depends on for what you really need the capital. You can do that smart, grow organically, concentrate on sales in the beginning, then you may not need any capital. Yeah? Okay, so 48 minutes, crazy. Okay, so I hope this definitely helped. I answered lots of questions today. Again, just for you to know, you can contact us via Facebook Messenger on our Funding Connection page. I put our Funding Connection contact page into the comments. You will see that it also comes up with our logo and find some information. Our email, no, not our email address. We're also careful with this. Our telephone numbers, cell phone numbers, and then a contact form you can fill out. And Brent is for the contact form and on the Facebook Messenger. He is the one who's answering the questions. Telephone calls are usually answered by Brendan, Kamal, or Tim. Yeah, so that you know exactly with whom you will talk to. If there's something where you feel like, hey, we need to dive really deeper into it, I recommend setting a consultation up with me. We can do that on Zoom, and then I'm able to guide you and say, okay, this is what you need to have in place. This is possible, this is not possible, we need to restructure things a little bit, so, and then you also know exactly what to expect. Okay, Tertia. SEFA, usually 2 to 3 months is realistic time frame. Yeah, and that's what I would say for all of them. We always have a look. Sometimes they are not so responsive as they are. So we submit on a weekly basis to all the different financiers. Yeah, the normal ones. Okay, so. And we always know, okay, this is what's possible, this is what's not possible. Okay, so Mashlapi 35,000 Rand, SEFA starts at 50,000 Rand. Yeah, so that will be definitely not possible through them. So that's where you would need to have a look somewhere else, yeah, or grow your business, So if you can start small, grow your business, put money aside, concentrate on sales, I promise you, in most cases, you are able to grow your business without the burden of repaying a loan. Yeah. Okay, pleasure, Tertia. Take good care. Talk to you soon, maybe in between the next couple of days. Or we definitely see us next week, Monday again. Something what I mentioned, please, here at the end. If there's anything you want me to talk about, a specific topic we haven't covered for a long time, put that into the comments or contact Brent and say, this is what I want Dagmar to talk about. I'm more than happy for some ideas. And we will definitely do that. I think was it last week when we talked about off-take agreements, where I talked about what it is, what it entails, how it should look like, so I'm more than happy to do that for you. Take good care. I wish you all an unbelievable successful week, and we will talk latest next week again. Take good care. Bye bye.